This is Pac-Man Case, and you're watching So Wrong Productions.
Yeah, I just got done checking out of the hotel. I'm about to head over to Renton City Retro Expo. My night was interesting. The people above me were really loud, and then there was some banging next door, if you know what I'm saying. And then some spooky stuff happened to me. All in all, it was let's just say interesting stay.
If you want more gaming and collecting content, don't forget to subscribe to stay in the know.
Got a mask up. I'm at the Renton City Retro Expo. Pretty big line, surprisingly, for the early birds. So I can't wait to go in and see what they have. Fix my glasses there for you guys. And yeah, stay tuned. Well, it's 10 o'clock, more people are coming in. I got a bunch of stuff. None of the stuff I was looking for. Someone did have a box of Entrance sold. I wish I knew what the price was on it. I grabbed a lot of stuff that were fairly cheap, and for systems, I usually don't buy. One has a Power Glove. Renton City Retro Expo was a lot of fun. There was some cool stuff. There was only 2 booths that had expensive NES games, down to 6, and they didn't have what I was looking for. I ended up picking up a couple boxes. One box I used to have. There was another box I was going to pick up. Went back there and it was gone. So I only picked up 4 NES boxes, but now I'm like almost at 220 or 225 NES boxes. Picked up a lot of Super Nintendo games, actually a lot of 64 games. I don't think I picked up any Genesis stuff. Going to be heading out pretty soon. After a very, very long drive, I'm finally home. And I reflected on the right here what I saw and what I experienced, and I kind of forgot what I picked up. So one, it was great having an expo again. So many people showed up. And I was talking to Pac-Man, and him and I, talking about YouTube, talking about TikTok. We talked about the expo. The showrunner told him if it was a week later, we might not have an expo at all because they might have shut down. I gotta go to an expo. These people gotta go to an expo, and it was great. A lot of games. There was a lot of games, a lot of toys, and a lot of other merchandise. There was like advanced Dungeons and Dragons stuff. There was figurines, stuff I normally don't see at other expos. Someone had a Bonk's Adventure. I did not get to film it. Someone grabbed it right away. It was probably for a really good deal because Bonk's Adventure is really expensive, over $700 these days. They marked it under, I think, because it was snatched like that. It was a Kid Clown, Wacky Races, that mid-tier and almost upper tier. I'm only missing 6 games now. Gymfire, Uncharted Waters, Dino Peak, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Bandit King of China, and Noah Bonga's Ambition 2. Hope I didn't butcher any of those names. That's all I'm missing. The biggest obstacle is Dino Peak, which is now about a $1,500 game. But I went through and I have some other games on my list. And there was not a lot of NES boxes. There were, but not a whole lot. But I did get a couple. We'll talk about that in the pickups. So the prices. Well, I wish I could say they were great. Oh my gosh, I got steals. No. The amount of money I brought did not stretch. It would have stretched more 2 years ago. We're not going to talk about inflation either. That's part reason. But the other reason, video games are more expensive now because of the nostalgia. People buying them, people holding on to them. That's why there wasn't a whole lot of certain stuff I thought was going to be here. Like, I was surprised to see so many Saturn games. There was a decent amount of Sega CD games too. Plenty of loose NES and Super Nintendo cards, but not as many as you've seen at Khaled's Gamers for Kids or the Video Game Swap Meet. This is a different kind of expo. And I did a live video, and I'm going to chop up some parts of it and put it in this video as well. But it was really fun. So, what about pickups? Looking for those 6 games, I did have another list of things I wanted to get. One was Nintendo Powers, and 2 sellers had them in GamePro. But I wanted my dollars to stretch. I wanted to get games, not magazines, but I did pick up some magazines. So I did pick up a couple Nintendo Powers. One of them I got particular just for a poster. It was the Demon's Crest poster. I saw these really early on, and I'm a sucker for these. Tiger handheld games. You don't see the Battletoads one ever. It's pretty rare for the Tiger handheld game, so I grabbed that one. And I picked up this one too, is Ninja Fighter, one I don't think I've seen before. So I got these really early on at the expo. I got the Aladdin Deck Enhancer again. Now, I had one several years ago with half the set. I was only missing 3 games. It came with Dizzy, but he also threw in another one. Yeah, it's loose, but I can always get the boxes and stuff later on. This is a repeat of a box I used to have, but you can't really find anymore, and that's Little Nemo. This is complete. This is one I wanted to get, so I want it for, that collection there, is DuckTales complete in the box with everything. I always forget I don't have the box for this when I see this, and I've walked by several times at stores going, I already have that in the box. No, I have another SNK game, but not this one, so I always forget about that, so I made sure I grabbed it this time. Iron Tank. It's a lower end, Wheel of Fortune box. Well, that was it for Nintendo. Now on to the Super Nintendo. I got Beethoven for a couple bucks. This is one I've owned before, and I'm glad to have it again, and that's Killer Instinct. Wish it was complete in the box with the soundtrack, or that's the Super Nintendo unit. Someday I'll try to track that one down, but it's got to have this in the collection again. I used to have the 32X version of this complete, and I wanted $140 for it. And I'm like, I got mine new back in the 90s, and I really regret letting that go. At least I got the Super Nintendo version for like about $8. Pretty Cheap and Disgusting Rap Jam Volume 1. F1 Pole Position. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I always forget if this is the beat 'em up one or the fighter one. I think the Sega Genesis is the fighter one, this is the beat 'em up. Yeah, I got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm trying to get these again, and they're not easy to find, but I did get Donkey Kong Country 2. I used to have them all, and I had one complete in the box. I also got the original Donkey Kong Country. I did not get the third game. The only one I could find was complete in the box. Bust a Move. I've been trying to get this because I had the manual. I bought the manual several years ago. This one I had a long time ago, Populous, and I have it again. Battle Cars. There's a small chance I own this one, and if I do, it'll be a giveaway. Clay Fighter, one I used to own, and now I have it again in the collection. Final Fantasy II. Never owned this one. Saw it for a pretty good deal. Everyone else wanted about $80, $90, so I got it for half that. This is probably the biggest Super Nintendo game I got. I always think I own this one, but I'm thinking of Phalanx. Axelay. Yeah, pretty big Super Nintendo haul. Some games I'm really excited about, other ones like, Biggest surprise, I picked up a decent amount of N64 games. System I usually don't collect for. Blast Corps. Pretty fun N64 game, one I've been wanting to get again, so I have it now. Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing!
Another game I have the manual for several years ago, and I always want to pick this up, and I'm like, I don't really get the N64, but it's one I wanted to play. I mean, I don't think I played this one. Mario Kart, of course, but people say that sometimes this one's better than Mario Kart. What do you guys think? Is it better than Mario Kart, or about the same? Castlevania 64, one I've owned before. I used to have it complete in the box. I bought it for 20 bucks. I got about the same cost. That's how much it's gone up. I played it before. I'll have to try to play through this one because it's Castlevania. Wave Race 64. One I don't think I've played before either, but as I said, 64. But yeah, one I'm looking for trying out. Smash Brothers, I got it for a pretty decent price. It was pretty cheap, honestly. It's gone down quite a bit, and I was like, I'll pick it up. You know, it's one of the Smash Brother games I did play. I like the later ones, but yeah, got this one. The biggest N64 pickup, one I've owned before, one that my wife and I played through when she was my girlfriend, or played mostly through. Paper Mario, or Paper Mario 64. Yeah, got it for a decent price and pretty happy about that. 6 brand new N64 games added to the collection, but we're not done yet. We got a couple other big surprises. I did a video about games missing or ones that were stolen, and one of the games I brought up was Paper Mario. Well, I got it again. It is complete in the box or in the case. This has actually gone up quite a bit, and the price for it is actually the cheapest I've seen it compared to stores I've gone to looking for this. So I said, I have the money. I don't know if I'll, want to pick this up again. But yeah, got 1,000 Year Door. The last game I picked up, and I almost didn't pick it up, but it's one of those games that went missing again. And that's Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. New Age of Heroes.
Now, I had the PlayStation 2 version. I've owned this one now 3 times. I've owned it originally on the Xbox, sold it. Got the PlayStation 2 version, sold that one. Picked up the PlayStation 2 version, picked up the Xbox version. Don't remember what happened to the Xbox version. I think I traded it in. Kept the PlayStation 2 version. The PlayStation 2 version got stolen, and now I had to pick this up, and it's so hard to come by. And I didn't want to spend the money on it, but I'm like, I have not been able to bump into that PlayStation 2 of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So I ended up picking up the Xbox version, the last purchase of the day. Renton Retro City Expo. This is my haul. I'm really happy. Got so many games, and a lot more are going to be on the rise in the next couple months. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have fun, go game, and see you later. The kicker. One of the groups I belong to is SideQuest Games, because the store SideQuest Games. And one game I've been wanting to get for the collection, the NES game, is the #1 game I need now. I got my Samson, but I need Dino Peak. SideQuest Games got in Dino Peak. Isn't that just a kick in the collection? I'll get you Dino Peak eventually.